Yeah, it's back-to-back movie reviews starring Sacha Baron Cohen. The Trial of the Chicago 7 was timely from a story and tone perspective, and this film is timely because it might influence an election.
Borat's subsequent movie film.
You fist me.
Right.
Now I fist you?
Right, there you
What
go.
do you prefer? You fist me or I fist you?
Same time.
Fist each other.
There you go.
The original Borat film is one of my favorite comedies of all time, as it's an incredibly smart film that leaves you with lots to think about, but also at the same time it's really dumb.
No, you don't say pause. This suit is black. That's a pause. Not.
This suit is black.
Okay. I'm not quite...
While it was pretty much universally loved, many were not as wild about its sequel, Bruno, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe people just weren't ready for gay culture yet, maybe they were uncomfortable seeing an overly sexual gay man as a protagonist, or maybe they just didn't want to dress up as Bruno for Halloween and do impressions of him. People have hurled many criticisms at Borat and Bruno, be it that it's racist, homophobic, stupid, or repetitive, but I feel like the people who see these qualities in these films just don't understand what Sacha Baron Cohen is going for. However, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way. If you did not like those two films, you are not going to like this one. However, the good news is that if you love these films, like I did, then Borat's subsequent movie film is just as good as the originals, and still brings the same wit, iconic moments, and master improvisational performances that we got all the way back in 2006. It's hard to review a film like Borat, or really any good comedy, because all you can really say is, it's funny, unless you want to spoil the jokes, so I'm going to talk about the comedy pretty sparingly. Borat's subsequent movie film is one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time, and there wasn't a minute of screen time I wasn't laughing. From the subtle jokes to the improv, and even to the scripted scenes, every second of this movie is absolutely hilarious. My type of humor is the stuff that is in things like Borat and Nathan For You, and subsequent movie film hits that mark perfectly, leading to one of the most hilarious experiences I've had watching a film in a long time. Sacha Baron Cohen's performance is just as stellar as ever. So the basic setup for the film is that Borat has become too recognizable and has brought shame to Kazakhstan, so he is sent back to the US to deliver a present to Mike Pence undetected, so that he can restore his country to its former glory. Because of the story, and the practical reason that Borat is too recognizable now, almost throughout the entire film, Sacha Baron Cohen is playing Borat disguised as another character. Anyone who is convincingly playing a character who's playing another character is already incredibly talented, and for Sacha Baron Cohen to be doing this while improvising characterizations for entirely new characters, it just shows how masterful he is at comedy. From Country Steve to the Sound Guy to even Donald Trump, every one of Baron Cohen's characters in this film are instant icons, and bring as many laughs to the table as just basic Borat. You can really tell a whole lot more money, talent, and time was put into these costumes, and it's probably the result of Baron Cohen's work on Who is America. One thing I am pleasantly shocked by is the lack of callbacks to the original film. Yeah, they do mention Azmat once or twice, and he does say "not" once, but most of the jokes are wholly original, and this doesn't feel like just a carbon copy of the original film, at least from a comedy standpoint. However, one issue some may have with Borat's subsequent movie film might be that the story is a little too simple. Yeah, it has basically the same story and hits very similar beats to both Borat and Bruno, but for a film like this that is mainly crafted from interactions with real people, the story has to be kind of simple. I would even say subsequent movie film has an even more complex story than the previous two films, especially when it comes to the characters. In each of Sacha Baron Cohen's films, he always has a sidekick, be that Azamat in Borat or Lutz in Bruno, and in this film the secondary character is Borat's 15-year-old daughter, Tutar. There's always been a conflict between Baron Cohen's character and the secondary character in the second act low point, but these storylines were mostly played for comedy, while in subsequent movie film there are actually a few pretty dramatic and heartwarming moments involving Borat and his daughter, while still being hilarious. A perfect example of this is the car scene with Tutar and her babysitter, and this scene is just one of many that carry subsequent movie film past the category of simply a comedy. To be honest, it's kind of incredible this even had a story at all, or is even out right now. Subsequent movie films started filming in late 2019 and wasn't finished until the late summer of this year. For those of you that don't know, a little thing happened between these times known as the coronavirus pandemic. But instead of shutting down production of the sequel, Sacha Baron Cohen and the writers actually integrated the pandemic into the script in an incredible way. The involvement of COVID-19 feels almost seamless, almost as if it was planned the entire time. Sacha Baron Cohen's always risked his life for his art, and it's just incredible the level of quality they were able to maintain throughout this pandemic. As opposed to Baron Cohen's previous films, this one is very focused on current events, such as the Trump administration and the pandemic, and most of the jokes and story beats are focused on these things. It could age poorly some 30 years down the road, where a lot of people don't really remember what was going on at the current time, but I think a fun, heartwarming, hilarious, and topical comedy satire is exactly what we need right now. Or maybe if we're lucky, in 30 years the world will have ended and we'll all be dead. Who knows? I guess I need to have some problems with this film. There's a celebrity cameo near the end of the film where there's a super obvious green screen, but the joke was still hilarious, so I don't know if that really counts. Also, this film has the greatest plot twist of all time. Please watch it just for that. In the end, Borat's subsequent movie film isn't better than its predecessors, but I think it's just as good, and I can't imagine anyone disliking this if they liked Borat and Bruno. An incredibly topical and hilarious film, this long-awaited sequel is going to go down in history as another one of Sacha Baron Cohen's classic comedy masterpieces, and that's why I'm giving Borat's subsequent movie film a 9 out of 10. Now that films are finally starting to come out again, I'm going to have a more regular content schedule, and I've also got my big project coming up. So if you liked this video and want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe for more gaming and movie content, along with random reviews throughout the week. See ya!
This is Boomerang from Cartoon Network.